On the night I'm going to describe to you, it happened on my last night out there. I was going home after 4 months. In the lead up to that night, the arterial routes between Baghdad and Al-Basra down in that southeast corner were often busy, highlighted by missiles or shot up by guns. But once we got down to the bottom near the Saudi Arabia border, in 4 months nothing had ever happened. So as I swept up my last target, I started to relax. I was going home the next day. I'd lost 2 stone in weight. Nothing else to do out there apart from exercise, and there's no alcohol. And I was looking good. I was thinking about a new dress that I would buy that would fit my stunning new figure in, with my massive neck. And suddenly, and without warning, Ringo just went, "Mandy, brake right!" I instantly reacted to his call. I just slammed my throttles fully forward, rolled quickly to 120 degrees. I pulled hard towards the ground, and he started pumping out these things. They're flares. They burn at an incredibly hot intensity, and they act as a decoy to a missile that had fired, locking on to the heat of my engines. This was a maneuver I had practiced hundreds of times before, but never for real. Getting it wrong was not an option. As the flares left, we watched in our little rear-view mirrors, we have those, we watched the missile go from being locked on, it pulled off, and it exploded about 2 miles away from our aircraft. We then breathed out, and we may have uttered a couple of small descriptive words, I cannot lie, and we radioed through what had happened, and I'll be honest, chaos broke out on the airwaves. 80 aircraft airborne that night, half of whom were carrying weapons, and the way it works is that once an aggressive act is made towards any one of the aeroplanes, you were entitled to prosecute an attack on your target. Our target was the Red Triangle. It was a radar station that had recently come back online, and we later discovered it was that radar station that had handed the height of our aircraft to the unknown surface-to-air missile cell. So we can look at all the threats, we can do a full briefing, a full threat analysis, but often it's those latent threats, threats that reside within any system, business or organisation that bite us, especially when you tie it together with complacency. The Commander-in-Chief told us to stand by while a plan was formulated. I happened to be leading my first ever combat mission that night, and despite being the most junior on my team, every decision was going to be made by me. After consultation with the team, we decided that we would head down to the tanker, which would increase our options. We had exactly enough fuel to get from where we were to drop our bombs and get back home, but not an ounce more. So let's give ourselves some flexibility. We headed down to the tanker, and when I got down there, I couldn't believe it, there was a massive queue. It was like that 5p off at the petrol pumps feeling, you know. I then get closer and I realise it wasn't even our British tanker. In fact, it was an American tanker, and I had never refuelled from one of these before.